So this is Shelly runs podcast and James, and he's not here right now. So we are here with Kelli Davis, and she is wonderful. She is my battle buddy as well, and she's got a personality that will light up a room.
Oh,
Um, so Kelli, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
okay. Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be your battle buddy as well. So, my name is Kelli Davis. I am from Norman, Oklahoma. I am a real estate agent in Oklahoma. So, I am also in Subto and Gator lending. So, in the Subto world, I'm known as what's called a unicorn agent. That's just kind of my avatar is what it's called inside of Subto. And we were on vacation. My husband and I were on vacation last summer of 22, and I saw I was just scrolling on Instagram or Facebook or something and saw this pacemorby guy pop up with some interesting thoughts on creative finance, which I've always kind of thought outside the box. We've done some seller finance stuff before, and but he was talking about this Subto, and I was like, Subto? I was in real estate and I had no idea what Subto was. So I started listening to him and seriously consumed every free video I could find of his and just like ate it up. It was the best stuff I'd ever seen before in my life. And I just told my husband, I'm like, I think this is something I need to do. Because even if I didn't want to build our own portfolio, which I do, it is something invaluable for me to have as a real estate agent for me to help my clients. Because obviously, I mean, the handwriting was on the wall that the market was in the middle of changing, and it was going to change significantly over the next few years. And I wanted to be a better real estate agent too. And so I ended up signing up for Subto. It has literally been the best money I've ever spent for my business ever. Then a few months after that, I joined Gator Lending, and that was in February of 23. And it has been life-changing. Seriously, it's not short of life-changing for me. It has exponentially grown my business. And more than that, it's grown my mindset. So it has been, again, the best money I've ever spent. So we have a couple of Airbnbs in Oklahoma. Like I said, we've done owner financing before. I kind of stumbled my way through that by myself, even before I was part of this community. But the subject to aspect of real estate has opened up a whole new world for us. And it's life-changing. Now, Pace is actually doing something inside of Subto. He just started yesterday called Zero Down, where he's teaching Subto students how to purchase businesses with no money down. And he's going to teach us how to scale those businesses so that we're not running them ourselves. Because here's the truth. My husband and I have been self-employed our whole entire marriage. We've been married 35 years. We've been self-employed the entire time and owners of small businesses. And the truth is we don't own our businesses. Our businesses own us. And the thing I'm most excited about is learning how to scale businesses where they can keep running even if I step away. That's what real passive income is. That's where real financial freedom happens. And that's what I'm most excited about. I think there's a lot of baby boomers that are looking to retire right now, and walk away. They want to travel. They want to live the rest of their life, without headache and blood, sweat, and tears, 80 hours a week.
Right.
I feel like
So,
there's a real opportunity for people like us to step in where it will be a win-win for them to step away, us step in, grow that business, and scale it to a point where we don't have to run the day-to-day. So I'm super excited about all of it.
so I mean, it's amazing because I've dealt with other real estate agents and tried to talk to them about creative financing, and it's like hitting your head on a wall, a brick wall, as I would say.
Yep.
It's very frustrating because they just kind of like shut you down. Like, I don't know anything about that, so let's just not even do that. And I've even tried to say some stuff to get some properties around I'm in St. Louis, so getting some stuff around here, and all they're doing is just throwing properties at me, and they don't know what they're throwing at me. There's just like, here's some, and they're not really asking what I seriously, want or need. Yes.
Right.
And it's frustrating. And there needs to be more people like yourself that are more open to new things, and because you have to scale your business according to changing times. You have to change with the times.
100%.
And people just don't do that. They're just stuck in their little box, and they don't want to get out of it. And that's not going to help them or us.
Agreed. I do think as Subto, so Subto has exponentially grown in the last 12 months. I mean,
can you tell me how that is?
In numbers, like the number of students that Subto has added in the last 12 months. I'm not positive on the numbers, so I would be wrong if I said the number. So I don't want to say a specific number, but I know that it's doubled or more just in the last 12 months. And it's picking up steam. And I believe in my heart, as more and more people get into Subto and realize what subject to even means, and that it's not illegal. I've even had real estate agents try to tell me it's illegal. And I'm like,
my mother tells me this is all illegal.
Yeah. So, it's literally in the HUD government documents. It's listed on the HUD that if you subject to X, Y, and Z, you have to do this. Anyway, and which we do. We follow the law explicitly. But I believe as more and more people become aware of what subject to really is, more real estate agents are going to be cognitive that this actually is a legitimate option. By the way, side note, as a real estate agent, if you ever need me to call anyone, another agent, to talk to them, to just kind of be the voice of reason, like, hey, this really is a legal option that could be a win-win for everybody in the situation.
That would be so amazing.
I would be happy to make a phone call for you anytime.
So I'm not a Subto student yet. So for those of you out there, why don't you explain the advantages of Subto? Why should I join? And what have you benefited from all this?
Whoa. Wow. Golly. So Subto is a mentorship that PACE has done, does, that basically takes you from zero, like, zero about real estate. You don't know what earnest money means. You don't know what a title company is. You know nothing. And it takes you from start to finish. You do not have to be a real estate agent or an expert of any sort of the kind to come into Subto and learn how to do real estate transactions from start to finish, buying properties all kinds of ways, subject to, owner financing, all kinds of terms. You could buy them conventionally if you wanted to. You can wholesale them, where you're just kind of the middleman. You're finding the deal and you're passing it on to the end buyer. The amount of hours of training that are on this in this mentorship, I couldn't even begin to guesstimate how many, like thousands and thousands of hours of training. There's no way you can, if this was your full-time job, you couldn't get through all the videos. So basically what he does, there is a set training module that goes through the basics. And then he asks you after that to go through the avatar series. The avatar is where I found out, oh, I'm a unicorn agent. And there are several different avatars that he identifies. And everybody goes through this avatar series and decides, I think that kind of fits my personality. Or, wow, I know I don't want to be the paper pusher. That's not where I thrive. I want to be talking to people. Or maybe for you, you don't want to talk to people, but you love paperwork and organization. And so it kind of narrows down what your gifts and talents are and kind of places you accordingly. And you pick kind of what avatar you want to focus on. And PACE really encourages you to dive deep into that one avatar for several months and try that and see if that's really where you're thriving. And then that kind of knocks down a whole lot of the other stuff that you don't necessarily need to know. And he encourages you, like, I love direct to seller. I can sit and talk to sellers all day long, every day. I don't want to be a paper pusher. I don't want to be behind a desk all day, every day, just writing contracts. Well, maybe you do. Maybe that's where you thrive, man. Like that's where that gets your blood pumping, and like you love organization and making sure every T I cross is done properly and I is dotted correctly. Then you and I could JV. We could do a joint venture together and JV on a deal, because there are no islands in this business. It's going to take a community to get the whole thing done. So anyway, it has literally opened my eyes to the endless possibilities in real estate. I knew before I came into this that real estate is one of the best ways for middle class to build wealth. It has been for decades. It's been one of the number one ways for the middle class to build wealth. I knew that. Now I'm like, wow, this is even bigger than I ever thought. I don't know if that helps explain Subto or not, but
so, yeah. So for those of you out there, what is creative financing?
So creative financing is a myriad of things. For instance, if you own your home free and clear, and you and your husband are wanting to travel the world and you just don't want to live there anymore, I could come to you and ask you to owner finance that house for me. And basically you become the bank at that point. You're not the landlord. You don't have to unstop clogged toilets and fix broken air conditioners. I would buy the property and you would be the bank. That's one of a lot of different options in creative finance. The other one is subject to, and that's where maybe you do have a existing mortgage on the property that you own, but y'all are wanting to travel. Maybe one of you pass away and the other one is struggling keeping up with the payments and you can't afford it anymore. I can come in, purchase your house, keep the existing mortgage in place, and continue to pay that mortgage that's in your name, continue to build your credit. So then you're not going into foreclosure because you can't pay the payment. It continues to build your credit and the property becomes mine. And I can pay you an assignment fee for finding that deal. I can pay the seller. In this particular case, I might pay you $10,000 or $20,000 just to walk away. And it can be a win-win for everybody in the transaction. So there's a lot of different ways to do it.
So how has it benefited you since you've joined?
Oh my goodness. So I have a client right now I'm doing a sub-2 deal with right now. He has just gone through a terrible divorce. They bought a house a year and a half ago, so they have no equity in this house whatsoever, none. If they don't have he contacted me to list the property. The problem is they owe the amount it's actually worth. So if he listed it on the market on the MLS and he had to pay both real estate agents, both the listing and the buy agent, which most sellers pay, have their home listed, he would be upside down. He would be out of pocket paying for real estate agents to sell his home. And so we're going to sub-2 it. We're going to pay him $10,000. The seller will pay him $10,000 to walk away. He gets to pocket 10 grand in his pocket. And we're going to sell the deed to his home, keep the existing mortgage in place. And then I will come in and start making those payments monthly. And PACE teaches this. There are lots of ways to protect your seller in doing so. There's a clause that we are going to write up that if I don't make payments and I'm 30 days late, the deed automatically reverts back into his name. He doesn't have to foreclose on me. It automatically becomes his again. So there are lots of different ways that we will set it up to protect the seller and his interest in it so that he doesn't get taken advantage of. So
well, you just have a halo around your head right now, helping all these people.
And it's helping us too. I mean, it's building our portfolio and it's helping them because otherwise they're going to be out like $18,000, paying real estate agents and stuff. Or
I think
put 10 in his pocket. I
think with the economy the way it is, I think that somebody like you that would be giving a person to get out of their home that needs to get out of it, like in that example, and then helping somebody else get into a home that can't normally afford to get into a home because of whatever, their credit is awful or, and that would also help build their credit.
Absolutely. Or somebody that is self-employed that doesn't have the DTI to carry, a big loan or whatever. Lots of different options like that. It helps a lot of different people. So it's been an awesome experience for me. I think it's been life-changing, and I can't wait to do an interview again with you in 12 more months, and you can ask me all the deals I've closed.
All right, I will.
Sounds good.
I definitely need to get into that group then.
I would highly recommend it.
I just don't, I have to see how much it cost, and I thought my husband said something about levels or something. There's
Mm,
different, is that right?
No, there's not
No?
levels. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Well, then
No.
I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
Um,
And I don't know what the cost is now. I know it's gone up since I joined, but I could definitely get in touch with somebody to let you know what that is.
okay, that would be
Okay.
great. That
Thank you
would be great.
so much for your time today.
Well, thank you
Appreciate you
for
interviewing
letting
me,
me have
Shelly.
you.
Absolutely. Thanks for
Oh,
having me.
all
You
right.
have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.